continuing a series of videos on the sad topic of doctors who breach a patient's trust through sexual exploitation, sexual abuse. It's something that's unthinkable, and we don't want to think about it, and we don't want to believe that it can happen, but it can. I'm going to post a video that I did below where I described a urologist in New York who was accused of very disturbing and sadistic behavior, taking advantage of patients. But it's not an isolated incident. Many years ago in Baltimore, where I practice, we had an OB-GYN doctor who for decades was taking photographs of his patients. Some of them were done through a pen that he secretly had a camera and a pen, and he had that when he was examining patients. Unbeknownst to them, they were being recorded. This happened over decades. There were thousands of pictures. There were multiple servers with thousands of pictures. Finally, someone discovered it and blew the whistle, and it resulted in an extremely large class action settlement, which I was a part of. It was a disturbing story. In fact, the doctor committed suicide by shooting himself right after the incident. So during the course of the litigation, he was deceased. Many of the servers from his home were seized, and that's where a lot of the evidence came from. It revealed a very dark chapter in our medical system in Baltimore, that something like that could go on for decades. How it was missed, don't know, really didn't get answers to that question. But it was, like I've said before in my previous video, a complete lack of trust, a breach of trust, and something that should never, ever happen. Medical malpractice in where a doctor commits a medical mistake, either through a surgery that goes wrong or a misdiagnosis, and those kinds of things are not at this level at all. That we're talking about negligence, and I'm not minimizing that at all. People that I've been privileged to represent over the years have had devastating consequences from medical malpractice. But when we talk about a doctor who has a sickness, a dark sickness that takes advantage of patients through sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, or inflicting intentional pain for some kind of sick purpose, that rises to a whole new level. And that can't be tolerated, accepted in any way. So it happens. There have been incidents that happen all over the country, not just in Baltimore, not just in New York. We all have seen in the headlines stories that turn our stomachs. So in my previous video, I gave some suggestions. I'm going to repeat them here. If you are involved in something like that with a doctor and something doesn't smell right to you, something seems inappropriate, you're in the room with the doctor by yourself, and something doesn't seem right, or the doctor's making weird comments to you, you don't have to stand for it. You can take action. What can you do? Well, immediately you can have the doctor stop talking to you, tell the doctor you think that's inappropriate. Number two, you can leave. Get up and just leave. Number three, if you have a question about whether it is appropriate or not, ask for a nurse to come in and to be with you in the room while the doctor is interviewing you or examining you. And if something rises to the level where you know it's wrong, contact your local authorities, your local police. Don't let these things just go by the wayside, and don't chalk it off to think that something, you weren't seeing the situation right, that actually the doctor was doing what was appropriate, because we've learned in cases the doctor is not doing what's appropriate. The doctor has a sickness, they have some kind of problem, some mental problem that they need to be removed from medicine, and then sometimes they have to be removed from society. So this is another disturbing video about a topic like this. Unfortunately, it does happen, and I wanted to provide you with not only the information, but some suggestions on how to protect yourself. Please hit that subscribe button below. That way you can take advantage of all of my videos, and you be able to review all the content that I have. You can also check out my website, frankspectorlaw.com. On that website, I'm always posting new content about medical malpractice, so please check that out also. Thanks again for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.